Good morning and happy October the 1st. Aren't y'all glad that it's turning into fall officially now? I am so happy. So today's video is all about canning meat, and I'm going to be doing barbecued pulled pork from the all-new book of canning, the Ball Book of Canning. And I have a pork shoulder butt here, and I'll give you a little close-up of that in just a minute. And I'm going to be making this pulled pork into pint-sized jars so that sometime during the fall and winter, we need a quick meal. You just open up a jar, heat it up, and you've got some delicious pulled pork. So let's get busy making this, and let me show you the deal I got on this pork shoulder butt. Well, my nearby food line had these pork shoulder butts on sale this week. I always check my sale ads for meats. It was a little over 9 pounds, and it was $2.29 a pound, and now it was on sale for 99 cents a pound. So that $22 Boston butt only cost me a little over $9. That is a great deal. And the recipe has ingredients that I already had in my pantry, so that worked out even better. So I picked up 2 of these Boston butts, and I want to can this meat per this recipe, and I think it's going to turn out great. The first step was to cut the Boston butt up into chunks and make sure you trim off a lot of that fat. You don't want a lot of fat when you're canning meat. And in a big stock pot, I am adding 1.5 cups of chopped onion, 3 cloves of garlic minced. I'm adding 1/2 cup of brown sugar packed, 1.5 cups of ketchup. This is going to be our sauce that we pour all over the pork. I'm adding in 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, 5% acidity, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons of mustard. I'm using yellow mustard. The recipe called for brown, but I did not have brown. 2 tablespoons of honey. And all of that needs to be stirred well in the pot, mixing. And I did take a taste test of this barbecue sauce. It was really good. It's a simple sauce, but it was very delicious. So I'm going to mix all these ingredients in a stock pot. And once they're all blended together, then you're going to pour in that pork that's been cut into nice sized chunks. And we're going to take this over to the stove and bring the whole thing up to a boil. So there's all of that Boston butt. I tried to trim off as much fat as possible. You just want to make sure you mix all of that sauce with the pork, getting everything nice and coated. And then we're going to take it over to the stove and bring it to a boil. And the recipe states to let it boil for about 5 minutes. And there it is on the stove. It's been sitting there simmering kind of on low for about 5 minutes. And now it's time to pack in the jars. So I've got my jars in the canner getting hot. Okay, I am going to pressure can this in pint-sized jars, which is perfect for my husband and I. And I'm just ladling that pork meat and the juice, the sauce, into the jars. Now, this will be pressure canned, and at my altitude, it's 10 pounds of pressure for 75 minutes. And I have done pork before. I've got several videos on that. I've also done chicken. And when I find chickens on sale, I will buy those. When I find turkeys on sale, I will pressure can those. So I always try to watch the sale ads and catch those really good sales. And this was an excellent sale. So I'm just packing in the jars with the meat and the sauce. I'm going to debubble. Kind of run my spatula down the sides. We're going to take the vinegar soaked paper towel and wipe that rim real well. We don't want any grease or meat juice there. Then I'm getting out a lid and put that in place, and then put on the ring at fingertip tight. Same process that I've used before, and I do have a playlist on canning. I'll be happy to link that below if you'd like to watch. And then back into the pressure canner it goes. So here is the pressure canner. It's loaded up with all these jars of delicious barbecue pork. And we're just going to lock this in place and let it steam. And when it's a nice heavy steam, I'll set the timer for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, I will put on my weight and then we'll begin to build up the pressure. 10 pounds of pressure for 75 minutes. Okay, the jars have processed for 75 minutes. When my timer went off, I cut the heat off, but I left the canner sitting right there in place until the pressure came all the way down to 0. And once it comes to 0, I usually give it an extra 5 minutes, and then I take off my weight. Then just kind of wait a few more minutes, and then I'm going to crack the lid and let some of that steam come off and let it sit there for 5 more minutes, and then I will take out the jars. Never, ever, ever open a canner until that pressure is at 0. Okay, you can see I've kind of cracked it. I've tilted the lid so the steam can come out, and I've set a timer for 5 minutes. All right, looks like everything processed nicely. Now, not all of my jars have sealed, but that's fine. We'll take them out over onto the counter where as they cool, they will seal. All right, there it is, 8 beautiful pints of pork barbecue. And the recipe said when you open this, the meat is just tender and all you have to do is reheat it and shred the meat. So that sounds like a winner for me. And as I'm speaking, the jars are sealing. Several of them have popped, which is always a great sound. We count those pops to make sure everything has sealed. So try this recipe from this all-new Ball Book of Canning and Preserving, page 301, barbecue pulled pork. It's perfect. I've got 2 more butts in the freezer that we're going to be processing another day. And so I'm just so excited about this. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave those in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a very blessed day.